Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an update on my pan nose eyeshadows. I have already filmed like half of this already, so if it feels like I'm like reiterating what I've already said, I apologise. The first half of this video, as I've mentioned before in previous, some of my SD cards don't work properly, so it didn't save. So I've got the second half but not the first half. So we're going to try and hopefully make it stream smoothly, but when you hear that, sorry my battery just died, that's when we go back to my original. So without further ado, let me just get on to this video. So what this is, if you guys don't know, is I have 5 eyeshadows that I'm working on throughout the month, and the goal is to hit pan, and once I hit pan I roll them out and roll it in something new, and that's just the situation. If I think that I'm working on an eyeshadow for too long, like for example I had an eyeshadow before that I had like 78 uses in and I thought it was ridiculous that it was still in this project, I did roll it out and I rolled in something else differently. So it just depends on like the usage and how, if I think it's just using up a space and I want to actually work on more in my collection, I will just do what I think is best for myself. So without further ado, let's get into this update. So firstly, we have got this is my Revolution London Ultra Professional Eyeshadow Flawless, and I have got the shade Tarnish rolled in here, which is this shade here. So you can see we've got a dip beginning, but we're nowhere near hitting pan. So yeah, I mean this is probably the first month I've noticed an actual dip forming. So that's good news, but I know how hard these are to dip, to hit pan even. So I do think it's going to be a long-term one. It might be that this one might eventually actually be one of those eyeshadows that I do roll out of the project. But I'm actually enjoying it. I am working on this project in a couple of other projects at the moment anyway, so I am using this eyeshadow palette a lot, so hopefully that will actually boost my uses. And I think that's probably actually why I've already got a dip in here. It's because I've been pretty much using it every single day because of those other projects. Then we have got this. This is my single eyeshadow by NYX. It's in the shade Cans. And it is looking like this. And we have definitely got a good dip forming. I do believe that we'll probably hit pan on this coming month. I do think that that might happen. I'll be very surprised if we don't, put it that way. I forgot to mention, for Tarnish, I used 18 times this month, a total of 72 in this project. For Cans, I've used it 13 times this month, 43 times in this project. It's my MUA Makeup Academy eyeshadow palette, Poptastic. And the shade I have got in here is Cool Seein', which is actually the shade here. As you can see, we have got a very hefty and obvious pan. So very excitingly, we are rolling this out and we will be rolling in something new at the end of this video. This took me 6 times this month, a total of 49 times in this project. I obviously have used this before this project, but it's pretty much on par with the other ones where there's no dip showing at all. So yeah, I really enjoyed wearing this actually. I thought I would hate it, but actually in the end really enjoyed it. Sorry, my battery just died, so I have no idea where I left off, but let me just reiterate. So the eyeshadow for the next eyeshadow was my Sunset Horizons palette, and I rolled in the shade Deep, which is this shade here. And as mentioned, there's nothing really to write home with. There's no like obvious dip or anything, so there's nothing really to add. So we will indeed be working on this again for another month. Hopefully this month I'll work on it a little bit more. 4 times. I don't know why I didn't work on it as much. Then next and finally we got this. This is my Norvina Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and I had the shade Wild Child rolled in, which is looking like this. As you can see, we have definitely got now a obvious dip forming. I do reckon we would be rolling this out probably this coming month. So this I swear the lighting here doesn't really give it justice, but this is the eyeshadow that we are rolling out. Okay, so these are the current eyeshadows I've got in my collection, all swatched out next to each other. So we've got Tarnish, we've got Cans, we've got Deep, and we've got Wild Child. So without further ado, let me get my randomizer and we're going to roll in a new eyeshadow. So we have got numbers 104 up until 722. Alright. 647. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to re-roll because that is an eyeshadow that's in my Sunset Horizon palette and I kind of want to work on different eyeshadows in different palettes. 550. So the eyeshadow that we're rolling in, but it is this one. This is my Gingerbread Too Faced palette, and the shadow I have rolled in is Looky at My Cookie, which is this shade here. This shade here. This pale pink shade here, which I think will be a nice addition to my eyeshadows. So there we go. There are the new eyeshadows for this month. So there we go, that is my update for my Pan Those eyeshadows. I'm liking that it's quite different now. We've got a range of some neutral shades, blues, and some like lighter shades here as well. I think they actually go quite well. There we go, that's it. That's all I have to update you guys on, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.